Is this sorority part two? I don't know. You tell me. Hey, Maddsters! So, rush season is among us. I know Michigan winter rush starts like first week of January, so very, very, very soon. I'm sure a lot of you guys are kind of like getting nervous about it, and I'm here to tell you about my best rush tips. Let me just plug Survivor Michigan as always. Sorority girls do tend to do like okay-ish on Survivor Michigan, so like that's a really great opportunity. Maybe Rush doesn't end up going well for you and you still want to join a club, so just apply to Survivor Michigan. Applications do close very soon, but highly, highly recommend applying. Another thing is that I have had experience rushing both in person and on Zoom. However, since I am no longer in Greek life, I am not 100% sure how rush is going to go this semester in winter 2022. So, just a little disclaimer, I don't have all the insider information. I'm just going to talk about my personal experience. And yeah, I hope these are just some of the things that really helped me figure out the process and feel more confident in the process. Also, I'm not really going to explain the rounds of rushing just because that's too long, but go watch my rush vlog that I made when I was a freshman in in-person rushing. It better explains the rounds and like what happened to me. So go watch that one. Hope this is helpful, and let's just get into it. Tip number one is to take good notes. I do believe that the first two rounds for Winter 22 Rush is on Zoom, and the second two rounds are in person. So I'm going to tell you about both. First, if it's on Zoom, that is so good because you can have a piece of paper and a pencil just out with you. I actually have my notes from when I was a member of the chapter and rushing other girls. So here are my 3 pages of notes. If you talk to me during rush, your name is most definitely on here. DM me, I guess, if you want to know what I said. But basically, it was super easy. I was like, okay, girl number 1, her first name, what I thought about her, what we talked about, like, oh, she's from Illinois, we do gymnastics, this girl plays piano, this girl, like, I don't know, whatever we talked about. So this is a really great way, especially if it's on Zoom, just like writing down. So if I was rushing you, you'd be like, okay, Maddie, we talked about being from Illinois, she does gymnastics, she has a YouTube channel. Just like super basic stuff, just so you can put a name with like who you talk to and of course like what chapter you're talking to. So 10 out of 10 recommend taking notes. If it is in person, you cannot have your phone when you're rushing and like doing the conversation with the girl. So what happened to me is that there's a university like FSL app, and so on that app, it's really great because within it like goes through each house, and in each house you can take notes and write notes on it. So I use this app a lot after every house that I got out of. I quickly like wrote down whatever I could remember. If I didn't know their name, I'd be like just like blonde hair with the blue pants and just be like, oh, we talked about what movie we liked and what we did over break. And so just super superficial stuff, just basic conversation, just so that I could remember what I kind of talked about and who the girl was. Because like kind of ironically, you end up if you end up joining a chapter, like you might have notes on girls in your chapter, which is just kind of funny. You need to take notes while you're doing this because there's just so many people that you talk to, so many houses that you talk to, and it's a lot. So take your notes. So tip number 2 is with the outfits. I know you guys are probably very nervous, like, what do I wear? Like, do they actually judge me on my clothes? When I was the judger, I couldn't really see people's clothes, so I didn't really care. But as the rounds progress, they do get fancier. I think you guys get shirts for the first 2 rounds, which would be nice. I actually wore this for my first round. So first round, open house, very simple, very just like jeans and a sweater, unless you guys get a shirt. Second round, you kind of amp it up a little bit. For my second round, I wore a skirt and a sweater. Third round, which are the house tours, so you guys will be in person going to the house for that. I would say wear something nice, but also like wear good shoes because you're going to be walking to other houses. If you do wear heels, they do say that you can like bring boots and sweatpants in your coat, which is really nice. However, it might be hard just to like carry around your boots and your sweatpants. So like actually having to walk to all those houses the third and the fourth round is kind of difficult. But don't worry, they do say like you're okay to bring sweatpants and whatnot in order to stay warm in the Michigan weather. But you definitely have to like amp it up and start wearing nicer things. I did miss fourth round, but you have to wear like a nice dress and probably at least heels. So just be aware of that. I did not have to go out and buy anything new, nor do I think that you should need to go out and buy anything new unless you have like zero nice clothes. But just a simple like dress and heels will do. Also, for the in-person events, they do say that you can bring a bag. So this was a purse that I brought, just like a Kate Spade like shoulder bag. I would say bring one and bring a water bottle. You can bring like a pack of gum or a snack, a phone charger, and whatnot. So this could be helpful. If you don't have one of these, that's okay. I mean, I'm sure you're going to have your coat and have some pockets in there. But if you need to bring a purse, a lot of people do. Don't bring anything bigger than like an actual purse because you don't need a backpack or anything. So yeah, don't be too worried about the outfits. I'm going to drop the Pinterest link that I got when I was rushing in the description. So go ahead and look through that. Hopefully that's helpful for you. I don't know, but you should be fine. Personally, like, I don't think that they should judge you too hard on what you wear because, you know, people have different backgrounds and whatnot. But yeah, I'm not sure how much of an impact that makes. Tip number 3 is to prepare good questions. I cannot tell you the amount of awkward conversations that I've had while rushing. It's just, when I remember when I was a freshman, I was, you know, potential new member, and I talked to this girl. We did the basic, like, name your major, whatever, and just talked a little bit. And then at one point, she's like, I don't know what else to say to you. And I was like, so am I supposed to lead this conversation, or what is going on? Yes, you as a potential new member can lead the conversation. Actually, that's highly recommended just so that you seem more interesting, because you will have the same, oh, hi, like, I'm Maddie, I'm studying psych, I'm from a suburb of Chicago, and over winter break, I visited my family. Like, you're going to have that same conversation over and over again. So I would say prepare interesting questions. It doesn't even have to be that, like, abstract. It can just be like, oh my God, like, what's your concert list? I saw the Jonas Brothers last semester. Like, I want to see whoever this semester. Having more interesting conversations than the basic boring things, like, you're probably going to talk about The Bachelor, your clubs that you're in. So talk about something interesting and not, like, what you talked about with everyone else. So just come up with some super easy questions and just ask them if they come up or if the conversation gets boring, because that makes you look more interesting. And if there's awkward silence, just like ask a random question. It's fine. It's just awkward for everyone. Number 4 is that you will most likely get dropped from your favorite house or thing. I remember first round, I loved like 4 houses. I was like, I 100% got asked back. Those were the best conversations I had. It was so great. And then I get my list back and I'm just dropped from all of them. I didn't really care that much because, like, I didn't know that much about it, but it was kind of sad too, because I was like, I thought I really liked you and I thought you really liked me, but apparently you did not. So there was that. But you're probably going to get dropped from your favorite house. It's fine. Just deal with it. If you really hate all the houses that you get back, just drop out a rush. It's also fine. And being on the rushy side, like being a member, everyone has their own rush crush, like one girl that they really like and really want in their chapter. When I was rushing, I had like 3 rush crushes and they all went to other places. So, you know, it's fine. You're going to like people who don't like you back. Don't take it too personally. I know some girls were just absolutely like bawling their eyes out when they didn't get their number 1 house back. You might be surprised on your list and what you get back, but you'll be fine. Tip number 5 is this just like doesn't matter. That's kind of terrible to say, but in the long run of things, yes, people are very stressed out during rush. People want to get their dream house. People have this idea of what their dream house is, and sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. But if it doesn't, it's okay. And say you join a sorority and you really think you initially really like it, but it turns out not great, just drop. Dropping is not the end of the world. If it doesn't work out for you, there is no shame in dropping. At any point in the process, you can drop. So you will be 100% okay. Let me tell you this, all sororities are the same. They all do this, like, philanthropy events, they all do date parties, they all do bands, they all do sisterhood, they do, like, literally the same things. The difference is if you can find your friends in the sorority. If you can find friends in the sorority will be a great experience. If you cannot find friends and don't really feel part of it, it's not going to be a great experience, and then you drop. Like, this should not be the most stressful thing that's happening to you. Take it with a grain of salt. They say, like, oh, it all works out in the end. Like, you end up where you need to end up, which is true to a point, but then after, people, like, still drop anyways. So it's not that big of a deal overall. Try not to stress about it. I know it's very hard to do, but it's really not that big of a deal. And hopefully you find the right place, and if you don't, then, you just drop and move on with your college career. Okay, and finally, the sixth tip, which is more of a hack, is this thing called continuous open bidding. So after rush is done and after bid day, say you drop during the rush process, or you don't rush but decide, hey, I might want to join a sorority. Then you can do continuous open bidding. So some sororities don't meet quotas during the final rush process. Some of them just have extra spots and they'll do COB. It's like rush, but way smaller scale, where you're just meeting one-on-one with various members through the sorority and just having like a bunch of coffee chats, hear about the sorority and see if you like them. So I guess COB is like the back door. The one caveat is that not every house does COB. So at Michigan, I think there's like 16 houses, maybe 15, I don't know. During the formal rush, all the houses are taking members. But for COB, maybe only like 7 will be taking members. So the number of houses that you have available to you for COB is decreased, but it's easier and less overwhelming because you're just doing like coffee chats and you just go to like smaller events. So it's a lot better way to get to know people. And I know people who like did COB and really enjoyed it and like are now in leadership positions and whatnot. So if you're feeling overwhelmed by rush and so you drop out of rush but still want to join a sorority, or all your friends join a sorority and you didn't rush, like COB is a really great like backdoor opportunity to get into Greek life without having to go through rush. So just throwing that out there because I feel like no one really knows about COB. I hope this was helpful. For those of you going to rush, you got it. It's a long day, a long time. It's very tiring, but you really learn how to talk for a very, very long time, which is great. If you have any other questions, need help with like rush outfits or anything, feel free, DM me. I'm always here for you guys. And good luck with rush. I will say I am still very glad that I rushed. I do think it is a big part of the college experience, so I'm glad I got to do that. And although being in a sorority didn't work out for me, I think I learned a lot from it. No harm. I don't think there's any harm in rushing. If you're on the fence, just rush. And yeah, you can always drop at any time. You'll be fine. Apply for Survivor Michigan. Go watch my rush vlog that I made like a few years ago. And yeah, let me know if you guys need anything else. And thank you guys so much for watching. Bye, Maddsters!